Been inside this house yet, but this entire grade from out here slopes this direction. You can see all that discoloration, and then over here this all slopes this direction, and it all comes to a point right there. So everything's sloping this way, that way, and water's gonna be going right in there. So once we get inside this house, we're gonna see what's in that basement, but I'm gonna say there's gonna be a problem right there in the basement. This was an interesting inspection. We found some hidden stuff, and then we found exactly what I knew I was gonna find. So let me show you this. Okay, you guys know me. I hate it when small, simple things create giant problems. You see this downspout? It comes down and it goes right across this trellis here, and it dumps on the other side of this garage. As I come around the side, and you see this dumps water right here. Now, of course this is bad. Of course it's eroding the soil. It's causing settlement. But as I stand back and get a more macro view, you're going to see this right here has all been repaired. Okay, that's all from settlement and cracking and everything else. And then you look up here and you see the step crack in the garage. That is all linked to that right there. And that right there is so common when people have their downspouts terminating right next to structures. It's unbelievable how something so simple and so tiny, we're talking about a $20 fix that takes 10 minutes to route this someplace, 6 to 10 feet away from the house. And then you see it causing this much damage. And this is not going to be cheap or easy to fix. You could stabilize it. And as we come around to this side of the house, I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to walk you in the basement. The grade here is just sloping straight down to this side of the house. And you can see all the discoloration right there. That's from snow. That's from snow accumulation. That's from moisture. It's just terrible. And then if you look real closely, this walkway slopes down this way. So it all kind of meets right here. You can see this has all been parge coated because over the years they just haven't solved the actual problem, and water's been going in the basement right here. Now let's walk inside and I'll show you what that causes. And I'm going to show you another thing that people do wrong all the time. As I came down the basement steps, the very first thing that I saw was that drywall had been removed. The minute that I see drywall has been removed, I didn't need to go any further. The client was here with me, and I stopped right here. And I told the client, when you see drywall in a basement removed like this, you see those nails sticking out, that tells me there was a mold problem. So I don't smell any mold. I don't see any mold yet, but I told them I'm going to look until I find it. So I came down, and they did a very nice job of removing all the drywall. It's very dry down here. There's no problems. And I was able to find right there. That is yellow mold. And then I noticed they had ripped the ceiling open. They usually do that to look for mold up in here. And sure enough, what do I see? I see evidence of where mold might have been growing before. So to be honest, I don't really see a big mold problem here. But it wasn't disclosed anywhere that there was a previous mold problem. Nobody was given receipts by a mold remediation contractor. And all the signs down here tell me there was a big mold problem that they had taken care of. It's fine, no problem. Mold is, usually pretty straightforward to remediate. Somebody should have told my client. They should have told the buyer that there was a mold problem and they had it fixed. That's all. It's just ethics. So anyway, let me show you some other stuff. Now we're coming over here to that corner where I showed you where that walkway was. Here's what you never ever do. You see this tar coating on the walls? I see this a lot. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Can you stop water on the inside of a basement like this? Sure. But this side of the basement is always the wrong side to try to stop water. Never tar coat the inside of a foundation or basement, the walls. Don't mortar it, don't seal it, don't try to stop the moisture. Don't use Flex Seal for God's sake, but don't try to do it on this side. Why? When you do that, you're trapping water in the foundation and on the other side of the foundation, which is never going to result in anything good. And this gets worse. Check this out. You can see the history, okay? Right here is a step crack that has been patched. You can see all the mortar work that they did here. And somebody told them, that they should tar or use a bituminous coating on the inside of the wall to stop the water. All right, but you can see over here that water always wins and it is always going to deteriorate things. But then when you get over here, look how much worse it gets. Look at this big step crack. And what's right below that? Big horizontal cracks running right along there. There's quite a bit of displacement and there's moisture seeping through that, but it gets worse. You come into this side and what do we see? A big horizontal crack, and that is pretty significant displacement. So if I hold my flashlight here, you can see how much displacement and how far those masonry blocks, the concrete masonry blocks have been shoved in. So how does this happen right here? How does that big displacement line, that horizontal crack? That's from lateral pressure. That's from hydrostatic pressure. That's from water being trapped on that side of the wall. And what causes that? Poor grade, where water flows towards your foundation. Usually you got downspouts dumping water right there. And you can see how something so insignificant like the grade, the slope of the soil around your foundation and a stupid downspout, you can see how it can cause major structural damage. Now let me show you what that caused, as if that right there isn't bad enough. If we flip around and you come over here, you're going to see this has been patched right above this door. So this is actually a load-bearing wall. This is a concrete wall. They patched it on this side, but look at this side. Woo, that is a good size crack right there. And for scale, let me get my hand in here. That's how big that crack is. I can stick my finger in it right there. I can stick my finger in the crack. I'll wait for the good jokes in the comments on that one. Started off with some mild sloping narrow walkway. Some parge coating on the foundation. No big deal. Walk down here, what do we see? The whole foundation, the whole basement, all the drywall's have been removed. They've done mold remediation. You got settlement. Now let me show you upstairs. All this stuff is connected. This is like a kinetic chain. I'm going to show you on the second floor what this results. This wall right here is that wall with the tar sealant. This wall right here is that concrete load-bearing wall, and it had a crack, the cracked doorway right about here. So let's see. With lucky number 13, he never lies. Do, 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 do. Let me show you on the second floor. Here we are on the second floor bedroom. Let's just set old lucky 13. Well, that's got some speed to it. Significantly sloped floors, settlement, step cracks, horizontal cracks with displacement, moisture intrusion, mold problems, removed drywall, all of this because the ground slopes toward the foundation and they don't have a good roof drainage system. Here we go. I think that's video like 150. Same problems, same defects, same everything. You got tens of thousands of dollars of repair work to do here over a $20 downspout extension.